for when I'm alone and solo. It's more of a solo thing. I finance my trips through probably 3 places: Google, Amazon, and then just like third-party sponsorships. Basically, attention economy 101. I make videos and content that captures people's attention, and then I either use that attention to monetize my own products, whether it's following me on different social media posts or clicking on links from affiliate gear on Amazon that I recommend, or, renting out that attention that I've captured to other brands and sponsors through sponsorship deals. Mainly on YouTube, but, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube these days, and all 3 are starting to make more money. Yeah, most people starting out, I would say, just overexpose everything. Even on this iPhone, like the first thing that I did when I started shooting video with it was I locked in minus 1/3 stop for exposure. Like the auto exposure just overexposes everything. Most people just make the images way too bright. It's easier to like raise up than lower down once you've blown out an image, so stop overexposing. And also chill out with the drone shots. Everyone's got all these crazy shots and they like twitch and like have little movements. It's like I think personally it should be A to B, A to B. There should be no A, B, C, and especially no A, B, C, D. Like there should be a single movement, and I just love the locked forward movement with the drone shots, but it drives me crazy when I see all this craziness. Yeah, hard to say what extreme minimalism exactly would be. It's different. I never did minimalism just for the sake of it. It was always to solve a problem. Like selling things, spending less helps me to save money. Having fewer items allows me to pack up and move easier. Having fewer distractions allows me to focus in and understand like what's important and prioritize things in my life. But I guess it's a selfish life. So I've been gaining responsibilities with Mika, my wife, and my puppy, and eventually, having a house and just more and more responsibilities called children. So I think that'll definitely, move me away from extreme minimalism, I guess. Yeah, this year's been crazy. I feel like I overcommitted a bit on the long distance traveling, So next year, way fewer ultra long flights, like the 60-hour round trip flights. I did too many of them. I have a short list of places I'd like to visit, but just as always, more with less. So get more out of each trip I go on and just, work less and just enjoy myself, my friends, my family, puppy, try buying a house, figure out where I want to live. Starting out, you really have to go above and beyond and work more than you expect to capture attention. You have to really reverse engineer who your audience is, what they expect when they click off, and you have to front load your videos with just as much value as possible. So if you're a hiking YouTuber, focus on the guides, focus on, helping people collect information and confidence to go do these hikes. They should be more guides than experiences. Like it's pretty low value for people to like see you walking around and stuff and like the beautiful shots. It's more helpful for people to like see the trail, the dollar amounts, the itineraries and stuff like that, I would say. So typically stay away from vlogs. Try to do more how-tos, tutorials, more value. Because starting out, nobody really cares who you are. They just care about what they can get from watching your video. And then once you have enough people watching your stuff, you start gaining a following of people who have been following your journey and care about you. And then you can start maybe shooting vlogs, but don't shoot vlogs to start out. Yeah, at one point I considered the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail, which is like a 4-month long hike from Mexico to Canada or Canada to Mexico. At this point, it just doesn't seem fun. If I was younger and single, this would totally be something I would be more interested in. But right now, I can barely stomach like a 2-week trip, let alone like a week of hiking. So yeah, I don't have any plans to do ultra long distance through hiking anytime soon. Yeah, the biggest thing I'm going to miss about my Sony is probably just the low light. There's something special about being able to shoot crisp, good images at any point during the day or night. And most people don't get good stuff at night, especially like sunset and twilight and dusk, like when there's still some color in the sky, but it's dark. And yeah, I guess I just miss that. Yeah, some slight changes. Once I have all the clips I need from a project like Manaslu, I will plug the iPhone into my MacBook Air, open Final Cut 10, import the videos from the phone to the computer, and start editing. And then at that point, I can delete the video clips off of my iPhone, like iCloud. I'm not keeping video for my iCloud storage. I just keep photos, and exported videos I keep archived in YouTube. They stay there. The beginning of my career, I was making almost all of my money through freelance filmmaking. A hired camera for crews and people, especially weddings. But as I started shooting more videos on YouTube for wedding film school, and then eventually vlogs and travel stuff, and then hiking stuff, it just shifted over towards making more money from YouTube and my own videos than renting out my expertise and my time for other people. It was way more fun and way more lucrative just to shoot my own thing and build my own portfolio, which is, my Instagram and my YouTube channel. There's some kind of residual royalties coming in just from, people constantly watching the videos that I just keep building. It's like a portfolio that I build over time. So I didn't quit my job as a freelance filmmaker until I shifted that wealth. That's what I recommend. I don't think people should quit their day job to pursue YouTube. It should be once it's justified. Just put in some extra time and work into the new thing you want to do until it just shifts. Music, so I guess I could just show you my liked songs on Spotify. Some Tay Tay, Carolina Rose, Joji, of course. You can follow my Spotify. If you just Google Craig Adams Spotify, you can probably find it. I don't really train for hikes. I don't really work out either. I've got one of those pull-up bars over the doorway to my bathroom. So every time I go in and out of that, entryway, I try to do some pull-ups, chin-ups, whatever they are called. I'm not a workout guy at all. I'll run occasionally. I'm not doing it as much as I did in the past, but I would like to. I briefly mentioned shooting weddings and doing freelance before making a full-time income with my own YouTube channel. But before that, I never really had a job. I did an internship at MTV, and that brought me to New York City from college in Buffalo. But, I never worked for anybody. I was always freelance before YouTube. I guess I could show you my subscriptions. You can see what I've been watching. Mika definitely watches some stuff with me, but of course we got Phil DeFranco. Been watching him for a very long time. What we call the YouTube boys, like Drew Gooden and Curtis Connor and all of them. Video Game Donkey. Donkey's the best. Love him. I've been watching PewDiePie since day one. Casey Neistat, big fan. A couple gaming channels like Game It Out and just some random ones. Of course, all of the logistics channels that everyone watches, like Wendover and Real Life Lore and things like that. All In Podcast is a podcast I listen to. Sam Harris is another one. Waking Up. I'm a big fan of Emma Chamberlain. My stuff is definitely inspired by her a bit. Colin and Samir, Cody Ko. I think all of this is public, so you can see what I'm watching kind of and subscribing to on YouTube. Over the last 3 years, hiking has changed for me a bit. I pretty much started hiking with Peru back then, going by myself and being responsible for the hike to have a fun time and be safe. But I've gotten better. I've seen a lot of the world. I've seen Everest. I've seen all different types of climates, multiple different countries, multiple times. I've done, thousands of miles. So my perspective has changed. Maybe I'm a little burnt out just because it's the end of the hiking season. Maybe I'll feel a little bit more excited come spring of next year. But Yeah, I'm just chilling. Not that crazy excited about hiking in general. I'd like to see more cities and food and different cultures and, just mix it up. I'm not like dying to go hike a trail. I still enjoy it, but I need to find the right balance. Yeah, COVID changed a lot for me as a creator. In New York City before COVID, constantly meeting up with other creators, making podcasts with each other, hanging out. It was just way more social and in person and just fun and dynamic. Post COVID, I've grown up a little bit. I've got more grown up responsibilities with a wife and a dog and moving around and figuring out where I want to live. But I definitely miss like the New York City hustle a little bit. Like I miss running into everybody all the time and just, working on projects together and just having more creator friends. So maybe in some way I need to recapture that and put some effort into making friends wherever I am, new friends, reconnecting with old friends, making more long distance relationships work. Maybe planning group trips with other creators in the future might be more fun. But like I mentioned before, I'm going to try to do more with less, go back and forth with this, making more money and doing the same amount of work versus making, more money by doing more work. It's just figuring out that balance. The Mavic Mini 3 Pro is my favorite drone so far. It's very lightweight, still does the job. The image quality is fantastic. Like, I don't really see any downgrade from my previous drone. And they have two types of batteries, like normal batteries and then ultra duration batteries. I'm talking like 30 to 40 minutes of flight time. It's insane. Like I ditched all of the small batteries. They're the same size, but I ditched all the short duration batteries for the long duration ones. And I feel like with such a small kit, I can get so many more shots. It's a great drone. I really don't have any fitness goals. I'm not training for anything. The technical stuff is a bit scary for me. I get nervous. I'm slowly progressing in a healthy way, I would say, with getting more experience with technical stuff, but I really don't have any plans for like the big summits. It's just a lot of work and very scary and very dangerous. Yeah, I've been reconnecting with Apple, doing a little bit of work with them, hopefully more in the future. My whole workflow is basically Apple based, so I'm more than happy to sing praises about their products and software. I've tried Apple Watches before in the past, and the minimalism in me said that I could just use an iPhone. So I got the Apple Watch Ultra, and I look forward to using it on trail. I think that'll be where it's most useful for tracking exercise and being in nature. So you should see that more in the future. I would say smart YouTubers have like a diverse pie chart of their income streams. I would say 50% of my income comes from sponsorship deals. Maybe 25% comes from AdSense. Maybe 10% comes from Amazon affiliate, and then the rest is like little tiny chunks of individual affiliate programs, whether for Hyperlight or MusicBed or, different individual companies. And the annual income has been over 6 figures for a couple of years now. So things are good. I take my dog for a walk and get an everything toasted with cream cheese and sometimes a croissant and a latte as well. And I always want Chipotle when I get back home to the States, especially when traveling abroad. Like the first thing I want back home is like Chipotle for lunch. Scariest moment that I did not document in any way, which tells you how scary it was descending the switchbacks from Whitney. This was before they issued the permits, so it was still wintry, very snowy. And I thought I could just slide down the snow to skip the switchbacks, but no, it was very icy and very steep, and I quickly realized that I had to kick steps the entire way. So, it took hours for me to get down, a ski slope, basically. I've been doing a lot of like solo hikes, so I haven't really interacted with the hiking community, and other than just like on social media, replying to stuff, like I haven't got to meet y'all other than this year, which I started doing group trips and sold tickets, probably like 5 or 6 trips. Some were hiking, some more sightseeing. And it was fascinating just letting a company like book the itinerary. I just show up for a trip and then just hang out with subscribers who bought tickets. So I'm just like a solo kind of person. I'm an introvert. I make solo videos hiking, so shouldn't be that much of a surprise that it was like out of my comfort zone to interact with people and to do these group treks, especially with multiple people at different experience levels. It's really challenging for me to like slow down and go someone else's speed. So definitely in the future, I would like to do some group trips, not as many. And I would like to hand select exactly where we go, what we do, the itinerary, and make sure that everyone is going, more to my speed, I guess. So I will always just do whatever I want. That comes first and foremost. If I need to make a little bit more money or, get more bang for my buck and views and attention from my videos, I may do something that is expected of me, something more trendy. I may do more work in that regard. But for me, the freedom of just doing what I want and documenting the things that I do and going to the places that I want and making the types of videos that I want to make is always priority. So if it seems like I'm doing less silent hiking, that's probably just because I've been doing a lot of group hikes and hiking and traveling with my brother and friends and subscribers who bought tickets this year. That's a new thing, so it may seem like that, but I will probably still make videos of me traveling alone, which I still am interested in. It's hard to take myself out of the perspective of doing this for like over a decade, but at this point, like the Nepal video I just shot was handheld with the iPhone. I have an idea of the video I want, but it's like a chronological documentation of my experience. So it's like mostly POV. I think that's interesting, so I shoot that. I just edit those clips together with some music, some sound editing so that it sounds, connected. And that's about it. It's not that complicated. I don't really do any grading. I don't do any storyboarding. I kind of shoot for the edit in my mind, and I just have like a sense of what's interesting, like what would work, what the pace, like this shot informs that, but then follows with this. But in general, switching to iPhone is just made things even more simple. Like it's so easy to shoot these videos and I'm loving it. I could put way more effort into shooting bigger, crazier, more complicated videos. Like there's a whole spectrum, but I'd rather just like do the easiest thing. I'm definitely making an updated annual favorite gear video for December this year. Again, I think for the 3rd or 4th time. I can't remember. I have a bunch of different pieces of gear, but I'm getting a better idea of like what I actually need. And I would like to start doing more exclusive deals with brands like maybe North Face. I feel like I've made some Colorado vlogs, so maybe more. Yeah, I plan on making more whatever I'm up to in Colorado, especially with the iPhone. It's super easy to shoot vlogs. I kind of just stick to where tourists go. Like I don't really go out of my way to go to dangerous places. And hiking is mostly farmland and it's not that bad. I've never ever run into a situation that was like scary or dangerous when traveling, to be honest. Hiking in the winter? Yeah. I will ski in the winter, but it's too cold for me to sleep out there and do stuff. I can't be bothered. My early career, the first year of hiking was just so crazy. Like doing Hornstrandir was so out of my comfort zone, so amazing. I followed that up with Tour de Mont Blanc, which was just, so lovely, like getting to do big miles every day and backpacking, truly backpacking. But Picos to Europa was such a pleasure. I did not expect the culture, the food, the animals, the changes in weather and landscape. It was really cool to go up there because I had zero expectations of what that hike was. I did almost zero research before I jumped on trail. I haven't gotten really any updates, but the Everest reality show I think is still being edited and sold to a channel maybe, who knows. But as soon as I know what's going on with it and get some update, or if I'm able to share a trailer or the show itself, I'll post on Instagram. So just when I know, you'll know. So that about does it for the questions. I do have a couple plans for the rest of this year, and I guess I could share just where my mind is and what I think is interesting and I guess problems that I'm trying to solve. I mentioned the favorite gear video, but I might break that into favorite hiking gear and then favorite filmmaking gear. Maybe, I don't know. But also the idea of those videos kind of don't make sense to me. It's almost better if I make a mini version of them after every single trek that I go on if I want to share that information. I've gone back and forth on this idea of gear. I don't have to talk about gear. It's high value because people are interested in the tools and the services that I use to both make the videos and go on the trips. It is helpful, but it's how much work does it take for me to think about these things, put it in the videos, constantly talk about it, versus what value does doing that bring me, in dollar-wise or exposure, more views. So once again, it's a back and forth of should I do more work or should I do the same amount of work and make more money or not make more money? I'm constantly trying to push the boundaries of my freedom to do what I want to do and just do the bare minimum and make it work. I guess this idea translates to the number of videos. If I could just do seasonal videos, one a season, and make the same amount of money as I'm making right now, why not do that? It's just less work. And then I could go the opposite direction. Why not make more? A video every week, a trip every other week, and just make way more money. Do I want to work more for more money? Depends. I'm a big fan of automation and making my life easier. And minimalism has helped me not need more money, more problems. So that's, I guess, the biggest advice that I could give people. Just break free of this idea that you just have to constantly kill yourself with work and stress. The focus should be making things easier and giving yourself more freedom. Of course, once you get past, just paying your bills and saving a little bit. I like the idea of a podcast, and I kind of miss talking about these things with you. I had a long stint of doing live streams and having a whole podcast channel and doing all of that, but it was just a lot of work for not that much value. And I think it would be better if I focused on videos like this. And once again, I don't even have to do a Q&A video like this. I could put this information at the end of whenever I upload a video. I don't see it too much on YouTube, but I'm a big fan of this idea of just uploading every so often and just, putting the highest value content at the beginning and then just doing a long tail of typically longer and longer pieces, sections, chapters of the video that have less and less value. But it's, the viewership drops off anyway. So it's if someone wants to listen to me ramble about my business as a YouTuber, at the end of a hour-long hiking video, that 20% is just going to be the only people that want that information anyway. So what's the matter? So I am not against putting a podcast at the end of every video. That's a half an hour long of me talking about things because I guess it works. I can do a nice trailer with drones shots. Then I can do the perspective of the hike and the trip from the ground with talking or maybe silent. And then I could do ads and then a guide and then a mini gear video about all the tools and services that I use to do this video in this trip. And then I could do a behind the scenes of how I did it. And then I could end it with updates in podcast form. All of this could just be one upload. Super long, whatever. People can jump around, they're smart. So this is an idea I have. Instead of having a bunch of shorter content, I'm just going to keep making longer and longer videos. So I think I'm going to wrap up here. This has been interesting. What seems like a no-brainer to me may be helpful to you. So I try to get past my own perspective and answer things honestly, but it is very interesting seeing the questions you ask and getting a window into this audience's mind. So thank you for asking questions, for watching the video. And let me know if you're still here at the very end. I would like to know who you are. Who are you? Okay, bye.